Alright, here we got Joan Baez's Diamonds and Rust. Love this album. It's my favorite Joan Baez record. I first heard the song Diamonds and Rust years ago. I want to say 5, 6, 7 years ago. It just stuck with me. I believe that song's about Bob Dylan. I'm not 100% sure on that though. And then I found the record recently. Got it for a little pricey for a used record. I think around $15. But some other songs in there are Jesse and Sky Blue. Those are some really fun tracks. Next, we move on to Courtney Barnett and Kurt Weill's collab album from 2017. A lot of sea lice. I heard this album once. I heard actually the singles beforehand, and I knew I had to get this record on vinyl when it came out. My favorite songs on there include those singles that were released: Over Everything, Continental Breakfast, and if you dive a little deeper into the album, you're going to hear some really good songs in there like Peepin' Tom and Untogether. Really fantastic record. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and watch some of the music videos from the singles. They are a lot of fun as well. Here we have Jackson Browne's debut record. It's self-titled, even though a lot of you may think the name of the record is Saturate Before Using. It's not. They decided to put that name on the cover, and it's been thought of as a title ever since, but the actual title is just called Jackson Browne. A few songs off there, most notably the one that gets the most airtime, one's probably most known, Dr. My Eyes. It's a great song. Jamaica Say You Will is a great opener on this record. A favorite song on there is a song for Adam, a really deep personal song. Sung by Jackson Browne. If you get a chance to listen to this record, do it. If you're a Jackson Browne fan, you owe it to yourself to listen to this. Continuing on the Jackson Browne train, we have the Jackson Browne album Running on Empty. This is probably one of my top 20, 30 favorite albums of all time, you know? There's some songs on here that just stand the test of time. Obviously, Running on Empty, that song's well known by many. But The Road, it's just a soft, lovely song. You Love the Thunder really picks up the album. Cocaine, it's running all around my brain. That's a joke, total joke. And Stay, the song at the end there, I believe with Rosie. Oh, what a great song. Next, we move on to one of my favorite bands, Beirut, The Flying Club Cup. I believe this was a 2007 release by them. I first got into this band a few years ago, and I like the majority of their albums very, very much. This album right here, there's a few songs on here that I very much enjoy. A Sunday Smile is a great one. Guillermo Sonora, sorry. See, I always butcher these names. They're tough to pronounce. And Saint Apollonia are all great songs on there. Go listen to this album if you get a chance. Next, we move on to a little more Beirut. This is their last record released. I believe it was released in 2015, and it's entitled No No No. There's a lot of good songs on here. You know, I think it's a lot more simple album than previous releases. Some great songs on there are No No No. And one of my personal favorites is Perth. Here we have the self-titled debut record by Cigarettes After Sex. If you guys haven't heard this band before, you're living in a hole. They're an up-and-coming band led by this guy named Greg Gonzalez, who is one of the sweetest, softest voices you're going to hear in music today. A few of my favorite songs off this record. The first one I actually ever heard was Apocalypse. Made me fall in love with the band, but after further listening and listening to the whole album all the way through, some of my favorite songs on there are K, Sweet, and like I said, Apocalypse. Next, we move on to Nick Drake Family Tree. This is my only Nick Drake record in my collection so far, and you'd think to yourself, kind of an odd choice for a first Nick Drake vinyl record. I got it as a gift. I think it's absolutely fascinating. If you don't know much about this record, basically it's a compilation record of early home recordings by Nick Drake. You get some really, really cool, raw, natural sounds in this record. There's some songs that in the record that are a duet between him and his mom, Molly Drake, and him and his sister, Gabrielle. I think this record is absolutely fantastic. One of the most interesting things on this record is an early recording of the song Day Is Done, which is my favorite Nick Drake song of all time, so I was super happy to get my hands on this. Here we have one of my favorite records from 2017. We have Father John Misty's Pure Comedy. If you're looking for a record that has all those Father John Misty trademarks, the modern sounding music, the witty satirical lyrics, this is a record right up your alley. Some of my favorite songs on there are Leaving LA. It's an epic song. I believe it goes in length just over 13 minutes long, so it's a heck of a song. Ballad of a Dying Man is my personal favorite on the record. And then Total Entertainment Forever is another great song to listen to. Moving on from there, we have one of the first ever records I ever got by The Loving Spoonful, entitled Daydream. Obviously the song Daydream's on here, one of their more popular songs, if not their most popular song that they have. Don't really remember too much about this album, haven't listened to it in a really long time. I do remember really liking the song Let the Boy Rock and Roll, but I'm probably going to have to listen to this record again. And we move on to another record by the band The Loving Spoonful. Here we have Everything Playing. Just like the previous record, I probably need to give this one another listen just to kind of refresh my memory on a lot of the songs. I remember enjoying this record. I don't remember loving it. I'm not ever craving to listen to it too much, but I do remember liking a really catchy song on this record called Money. And here we have a holy grail of a record, Days of Future Past by the Moody Blues. I got this record on the same day that I got that Procol Harum record from a previous video that I recorded. This record right here is absolutely fantastic. Originally released in 1969, I believe this is a pressing from 1969. I got this copy for around, I want to say $10. My favorite songs on there are The Afternoon and The Night, or better known as Nights in White Satin. Absolutely fantastic song. This record, if you haven't listened to it, listen to it all the way through. It's a can't miss record. And then moving on from there, we have a couple Peter, Paul, and Mary records. We have the record Moving and the record See What Tomorrow Brings. I haven't actually listened to these two records yet. I just picked them up, I want to say a week or two ago, and just haven't gotten around to listening to them. Tell me in the comments what to expect, and I will get back to you guys on what I think of them in the description and comments below. Next we have Carly Simon's Coming Around Again. As you might have been able to tell by my sigh, I'm not overly excited about this record. This record I got as a gift, and it does very, very little for me. I'm pretty sure the song The Itsy Bitsy Spider is on this record, so if you're ever getting a craving to listen to that, try out this record, I guess. Not dissing Carly Simon, I think she has a really good voice, really pretty voice, but this record is just not for me. It is just bland, in my opinion. And next we move on to one of my personal favorite records that I have in my entire collection. Here we have the Record Store Day 2017 release of Rah Rah Riot's self-titled debut EP. This is copy 552 out of 1500. A few of my favorite songs on this record are Each Year, A Manner to Act, and the personal favorite of mine that I first heard this song close to 7-8 years ago, and the song still is great, still resonates with me, is Can You Tell? I know a lot of these songs were re-recorded onto the band's first LP. To be honest though, I think the sound on this EP for those songs is a lot better than on their debut LP. I think that these songs sound a lot less structured and glossy and a lot more gritty, and it's just really fun indie rock, really catchy indie rock music. If you guys haven't heard this record, go out of the way and listen to it. It's a personal favorite of mine, and I'll vouch for it any day of the week. Continuing with the string of fantastic records. Next we have Sufjan Stevens' Carrie and Lowell. I believe it's a 2015 release. If you're just looking for a voice that's peaceful, soothing, really thoughtful lyrics, a record you can just sit down and enjoy and stay calm and just let flow through you, if you will, really experience it, it's this record. My favorite songs off this record are The Only Thing and Should Have Known Better. Give this one a listen if you haven't. If you're living under a rock, like I say, take your head out from under that rock and go listen to this. And finally, the last record that I have in the slow singer songwriterish rock section of my record collection is James Taylor's In the Pocket from, I believe, 1976 it was released. Got this record used only for a few bucks, listened to it all the way through, enjoyed it. I like a lot more of James Taylor's other works a lot more. The one song off this that I do remember very much enjoying is Shower the People. I believe it's the first song on the record. Great song. Besides that, I'll really have to go through and listen to this record again if I wanted to pick it apart. But yeah, that is all of my records from the slow singer songwriter-ish rock section of my record collection. Next, we're going to be moving on, if you can see in the image right here, to the jazz, R&B, and soul section. We're going to go dive into each one of those records. Also, I just ordered a bunch of new records. I think I'm getting 5 new records off of the internet, and I would love to do a vinyl update video because they're all different kind of genres of music. I'd love to do that. And then I'm also planning on kind of showing my setup that I have for my turntable and my speakers, and I'd love to show and do a tutorial video about that as well. Thanks guys for listening, tuning in. I hope y'all tune in next time, and have a fantastic day. Yep, that was me saying have a fantastic day. Okay, bye.